Hello, hello, hello. What ho! Welcome back to another exciting adventure of Radio Free Anarchy. I'm your host, Travel Mateus. This reaction is the result of being encouraged by a good friend of mine who is his own content creator on YouTube, and I will link the Magi's channel there. And if you enjoy spiritual reflection and rock balancing, Derek is a maestro. We just got done watching the entire video, which was my intention to let you enjoy the video itself without any interruptions. And so now what we're going to do is watch the video and break it down, and hopefully I do it justice. Hopefully you will enjoy the content and subscribe, like, comment, and share every single thing that comes up afterwards, because that's how my channel is going to grow. Can't do it without you. I need your help, your support, and your beneficent kindness to like, comment, and share on every video. All right, let's dive right into REN. All right, I got all the kinks ironed out, so here we go, jumping into the video. All right, so the first thing that I want to just stop and notice right now is the I guess I'm going to just say this projection, this holograph right here and right here. I just find it interesting whether or not, look, when an artist creates something, like, he notices this, like, I just find it interesting that it's there, right? Like these esoteric symbols. This one almost looks like an ankh with an elongated ellipsis, right? You got looks like almost like a little cross, boom, and then there's a cross definitely right here. All-seeing eye in the middle. You know, these are the zodiac, and then we got a pig. This is very Grindhouse, and I remember watching this for the first time and just not knowing what this was going to be, and I hope that I can communicate the amazement that I had the first time, but here we go. So I have a big appreciation for Rick Beato's channel because I learn smidgens of theory, but I'm guessing the fret work that he's doing right now is something of an arpeggio. But this is, I remember being impressed, like, what is this going to be? It was all instrumental, and then the next part when his vocals come in. But what do you think is the intention behind what I hear as dissonance? Like, there's minor chords or discord in some of the, you know, the bass lines. It's just sounds discordant to me. And then we're going to get into this yodeling, right? That is all a part of the medium of what, like, I haven't seen many interviews with REN, but if you are a renegade and you enjoy what I'm doing or what I will be doing with the rest of this interpretation, I would thoroughly love to dive into breaking this down with REN. Like, tell me the story. Like, what does this mean to the storyline? Because I think I have an idea based on what I've listened to, but you know, that's all the subjectivity of interpretation. It's easy to make a stank face when the artist is in, the groove with himself. I think I remember the first time watching this, I was trying to figure out if it was dubbed over or not, but regardless of whether or not it was dubbed over, when watching his performance, obviously it's live in the moment itself, and I think he does a great job of communicating his art through his entire being. Right? And so to me, this is a story. That introit told a story. And then we're going to get into the next tempo. Right? So there's a change, right? So there's a change. And then here comes another one. And by the way, I was not ready for this yodeling. This is incredible. And I'm not a vocal coach. Shout out to Charismatic Voice and the vocalist and others who, Beth Roars. Yeah. This. I'm just going to go back because I think I saw a cut here that I had never seen before. So he's looking this direction, and then in the next cut he's looking, but it's a seamless transition, but obviously it was a cut, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Right here. And then he's looking too far to the right on that one. That was a cut. It's just got a great rhythm. So in my mind, the buildup of that introit and then the yodeling, to me, shows the two wolves within, right? The darker wolf and the lighter wolf. And yet they are both the same being, right? So imagine if there were a wolf on each shoulder or an angel and a demon on each shoulder of REN. What would those angels look like? What would that angel look like? What would that devil look like? It would look like REN, because it's the same person. And so that's what this entire video is. It's the psychological profile of me, of you. I'm sure of a lot of people who identify with this medium and this message. That internal dialogue that we have, I think I have a friend, a close friend of mine, when I was describing something that I had experienced, he said, dude, I can't keep listening to you because you're just obsessing and compulsively obsessing and obsessively compulsing about this thing to figure it out. And he's like, I don't do that. Like, I don't have that dialogue in my head. I'm like, how do you figure shit out, man? Like, how do you, you don't think? We all think. That's the one that your CPU never shuts off. It's always running. The program that is running is your I am, right? So you're always thinking. Whether you're awake, you're thinking, and the minute your severance happens and your innie wakes up in a dream, you're thinking still. You're still thinking. It's just you're asleep. Anyway, what I love about this video and this message is the conflict of that inner voice of accusation and antagonism that is you. So there's a difference between your intuition, which is the white wolf, I would say, and your fear, which is the darker wolf. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear. And that voice within is that voice of intuition, but it's a backpedaling, pussyfooted, negative aspect of yourself that I think to a certain extent we have to overcome. You know, some people don't do karaoke. Oh, I got to be really drunk before I do karaoke. I don't. I can just get up and do karaoke. I'm not saying I'm great at it. I just like it. Same thing, getting up and speaking in front of somebody, or playing a guitar in front of somebody. Like I can play the guitar in my closet, you know, no problem. But in front of people, so then what is it that keeps? It's fear. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Well, that might be true, but why not? To me, the experience that all of us share in this life is meant to be investigated. Like I want to know like who you are. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you know. And hopefully I can reciprocate by what I'm doing now and kind of give you a preview of my giving you a taste of what I know. However, going back to the distraction that is my ADHD brain, which is an attention diversified, highly developed, that's ADHD. I get this picture of this overlay of the beginning is like both of the wolves together because there's discord and harmony. And then when you get into the yodeling, I take that as almost like a skip to the loo, my darling, just this vibrant expression of life, which the artist is trying to say, and then that voice creeps in. That dark wolf is just skulking and waiting to be the one in control again. And I think that is a dynamic of humanity that has to be understood. We are a polarity. We are a duality. We have a masculine energy and a feminine energy. It can't be anything else. If you've never thought about your energies, you have both masculine and feminine. If you don't understand that, that's an interesting rabbit hole to go down. So again, which energy is going to win? Whichever energy you feed the most, whichever energy you play the most, whichever energy you entertain the most. And in my existence at this point, I rarely have an antagonistic accuser anymore. My remaining darkness, shadow, is fear. There's fear about following my dreams. And so let's just jump back into it. I know that this is a bit of my rambling, but it is what it is. Let's get back.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you'd back.
Okay, right? You know, it's, man, I just can, it would be amazing to make a music video of this interpretation. So when we get into the yodeling, I see it as a skip to the loo, my darling, just this person enjoying life, and then, hi, Ren. You know what I mean? Like, that's the antagonist. You know what I mean? Like, as an artist, like, he thought of this part here. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is this part for Ren? Because it has meaning. That's the objectivity. Art is subjective after it's been created because it's going to be interpreted and experienced by other artists. But we know that no man can observe the same work of art twice. He's no longer the same man, and that's no longer the same piece of art. So even Ren, and every single time of performing this or whatever it is not the same performer he was when he first. You get what I'm saying? It's always ongoing subjectively. But when he was first creating this, there was an objective concept of like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, and I'm going to, and then that's his Mona Lisa.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, on you pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. See what I'm saying? Like, they are the same. If you want to kill you, you got to kill me. Right? And who knows whether or not this video influenced my own perception of those two characters. But that's just been a recent development of myself as I've, entertained my own existence, of understanding that voice. Like, what is that? Why does that voice? Hi, Ren. Hi, Travel. You think you're going to follow your dreams? You think you're going to be a photographer? You think you're going to be a YouTube content creator, which is what this is. I am following a dream right now. And that dream depends upon you, the audience. But I created a channel that you can see on the screen up right here, probably, the Red Hen. I created Red Hen Radio because I wanted to interview the content creators that I enjoyed interviewing, or that I enjoyed watching and consuming their content. And it was a lot of hard work, and I just didn't see the payoff in it, right? So there's a trick in pursuing art for art's sake and trying to create something in pursuit of a dream to make a living doing this, right? Nick and Lex, they are fantastic content creators, and they get support from their audience to create more and more and more creations. That's the American dream, right? Find something you love to do and get paid to do it. Now, that's a commercial enterprise that I don't necessarily want to belong to. I'd rather not have to make money to exist and survive, right? But that's just the nature of the matrix that we're in. However, this is my attempt. This is my attempt with all of you renegades out there. If you've made it this far, listening to the sultry sound of my voice, stop right now, like the video, smash that Fonzarelli, leave me a comment, and share the content, because otherwise, in 6 months, if my channel isn't increasing in numbers, to me, it's like, why am I doing this? Well, you're doing it because you're an artist. You're doing it because you just want... Yeah, but it's hard to sing when there's no audience. It's hard to sing when the audience has turned its back. Someone comes in, watches this, whatever. And there's another video. Like, this is just my mind. I just don't get it. I guess I do, because not everyone's wired the same way. I have a video that's got over 1,000... maybe 1,500 views. The likes don't match the views, and the likes don't match the subscribers. Like, if you like a video, subscribe to the channel. But the subscriptions don't match the likes, and the likes don't match the views. And it's just this, like, you can lose the eternality of the moment, right? You can lose the focus of, why you're doing this. I don't know. To me, doing this is not the same as going out right now. It's a beautiful day here in southern Colorado, but it's not the same as going out for a walk. Going out for a walk is the reward in and of itself, with the energy and the light and the freshness and the people that you say hello to on the street. But making content like this is much more raw and vulnerable and scary, you know. Anyway, here I go. Yeah. The I and the me and the we. Let's back it up just a couple.
That deep down in the moment we're in periphery. Ran on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd, not your place to lead.
So I know you need me. I know you need me. That's gaslighting. One's gaslighting of oneself. So what in your mind is the purpose, right? Do you have this understanding of the light that is within you, the dark, or the low vibration, the high vibration, the low frequency, the high frequency? The low is the dark, the high is the lighter, but they're all in the same spectrum, right? They're all the same spectra of light. Which in your mind is supposed to win out? So the dark, low frequency is saying, I know you need me. That's the narcissist. That's the sociopath. I know you need me. The light-bearing soul has no need to be needed. As a codependency, as an attachment. But as an awareness, I am aware of my surroundings. You know, it's this compatibility, it's this synchronicity, it's this simpatico-ness of reading a room and thinking, oh, I know how to save this conversation, or I know how to brighten this person's day. That is an awareness of your importance as a human being for other human beings. And that's not the same thing as being a narcissistic sociopath who craves attention, you know, simply because, and I'll just be honest, right? One of the things that my ex accused me of numerous times was wanting people to listen to what I have to say. And so the question becomes, is that a valid criticism? Because there I am with my wife, who is my partner, and without really constructive, just more like destructive criticism, it's just this critical statement. And the question becomes, well, what does that mean for an artist in any medium, right? REN or Joe Rogan or Jordan Peterson or any sports figure, right? If you do what you love and people recognize it, does that mean that you're narcissistic? Does that mean that you're selfish? I don't think so. I don't think having a message inside of you that comes out in a sculpture or an oil painting or a music song, you know, I didn't like the way I said that. Or in a musical avenue like this. Artists create because they have something to say. And I think that is another aspect of what makes us truly human.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know, I'm always in periphery. Ran on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking...
So the one thing that I find interesting about Ren is that he's an actor. Don't misunderstand me, or do. But even the way that he's sitting right now is communicating this intrepid, or this trepid, right? Intrepid. This trepid, this fearful person who's like inside because his legs are closed off. And then as he talks to the other Ren, his facial expressions are just, I think, beautiful depictions of the innocence of the light that doesn't understand why am I talking to myself this way? Why am I saying these things to myself? I know who I am. I know I'm a lovely person. I know I'm like, again, going back to my ex. The accusations that I experienced accusing me of being someone that I'm not. I'm that same person I was 35 years ago, 30 years ago, right? I've always been this expression of myself, except now I'm brighter. And it's that voice. It's that voice. It's like, you fucking just leave me alone, right? Like, it's just this, yeah. Man, you don't have to have this internal dialogue in order to understand that this is really your internal dialogue. Every single one of us has these existential processes that are going on in our entire experience of being alive. No man can step into the same river twice. It's no longer the same river, and he's no longer the same man. No child, no teenager, no girl, no boy. Do we understand that from our first awareness of being aware of smiling at our parents, of like, imagine if you could imagine a short film of a first person perspective of a baby becoming aware. Like, who are these? Like, what are these things out there? Like, oh, that's my hand, like all that, and that beauty and that innocence of that child. What if that child could experience an existence where that lower frequency, that lower vibration is already subdued because the parents have an awareness of existence? Parents helping their children to understand the thoughts that are in their head. I've had 5 children, and if I could go back and redo those educations, I would do things completely differently. Helping them understand the importance of thought. Because those accusations, I can remember my earliest attachments and domestications in my experience when I was overweight as a chubby, 10-year-old, 13-year-old. And then having, some older kid, maybe in 8th grade, go, "Hey man, did you forget to wear your bra?" Those, like, how would a healthy 10-year-old respond to a bully? Pretty much in the same way a healthy adult would respond to a bully. All right, there we go.
You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd, not your place to lead me, not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. and I've learned so many coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill.
Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect, you're always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy.
Nah, mate, this time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been.
All right, so right now my whole body is electric. Just the ugliness and the harshness of the lower vibration REN trying to gaslight. It's just pure gaslighting. You know, all the steps forward that you've taken are really steps backward. And that's one of the things that I've thought about recently about, again, the angel and the demon on the shoulders that is you, and the duality and the polarity that is the human experience. Like, we have to understand that those possibilities of being stuck in low vibration your entire life and being even deeply sociopathic or even psychopathic, right? Why is it easier to accentuate the negative than it is the positive? Positive thinking, positive affirmations take much more deliberation and intention to manifest, but these negative thoughts come without any effort. And I remember struggling through that as a younger man, married and with children. Just being so much more, it was easier for me to be manipulated by that lower body. It was just easier. Laziness is easier than hard work. But not if you've always been a hard worker. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, people who raise their children to be always active with their minds and nature and building blocks, and hey, we're going outside to pick the dandelions. How many dandelions can you pick? And, get all the heads of the dandelions and whatever. Like, you give children these tasks, but you're out there with them too. And you're showing them what life is, and you do yoga, you do meditation. You don't necessarily force that on your child, but eventually, you're doing your poses, and your 3-year-old toddler or whatever comes over and he's doing a down dog with you. So the earlier we can influence a child's psychological profile to understand that the light is going to be easier to live within if it's begun at an early age. Because I think for myself, my darkness was more prevalent in my youth. I remember having a nightmare as a young child. I mean, younger than 6. And the house that we lived in my dream, in my nightmare, was filtered in this auburn red, brick red hue, and there was no sound, and yet it was as full of just angry white noise that you can't hear but you can feel. What is that darkness? And then, seeing arguments with parents, or whatever it is, those are, I guess what I'm trying to get around to say is that all right, the analogy that comes to my mind is a dog trainer, a dog owner. You can either be a god in the eyes of men and women simply because you are the leash of your animal. Sir, you have to have your dog on a leash. Excuse me, Karen. Mind your business. I am the leash. This dog is not going to go anywhere without my approval, without my permission. Or you can make yourself look like an absolute idiot, screaming after your dog in public because it's jumping on people or it's running away and it won't come back, and you're just yelling. Like, you're either going to have an easy time making yourself look like an idiot, or you're going to have a lot of work to make yourself look like a god. But once you start the training of showing the animal that your leadership and your guidance is beneficial for them so that they want to do what you want them to do, that's godlike power. And if you could start out with that power from an early age, or if you're in a place right now before you have children that where you start thinking about having children, it is, I think, the parent's responsibility to shine as much light, love, life, and laughter into the psychological profile of that child, so that that child's light will always overwhelm that lower vibration. It's still there. It'll still be there for whatever reason. But the healthier and the holier and the whole-er we are mentally, it's just so much more of an amazing existence on this side of that story.
Follow this 10-step program, rejoice, all your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy.
Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great.
Like the way he went, like I actually think like he's talking, he's convinced, he believes in his dream, right?
And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help.
You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see. You gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy.
Alright.
You should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help.
You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see. You gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not
Alright, you gotta kill you if you want to kill me. That is absolutely 100% true. Except it's not suicide. It's psychological side. It's ego side. It's death of ego. And yet at the same time, in my opinion, ego is still the self. So it's just death to the lower vibrational self. And that is what personal development is it not? It is putting to death those things in our experience, in our existence, that produce death, not only for us, but for other people. So reincarnation, in my opinion, is always and every day. Always and every day. You are constantly reincarnating yourself in every experience. I just went to the grocery store and expressed myself in one way. And then when I go to that grocery store again, I'm going to be expressing myself in another way. Let's say, for instance, the cashier was in a bad, or I learned the cashier's name, right? So the next time I go in, I'm the same man, but I'm not, because I know her name, and I'm going to say her name because everyone loves to hear the sultry sound of their own name, right? Attention, appreciation, affirmation. So this is the exact point, in my opinion, of this. You gotta kill you if you want to kill me. And yet that's what Ren was doing, right? It's been weeks since we've spoken. Yeah, because I'm trying to put you down, bro. That's why we haven't spoken. That's why I'm not entertaining your thoughts anymore, because I'm going in a different direction, and yet that voice of fear can come up at any moment. Even if you've been practicing awareness for years and years and years, there might be something that hits you in 10 to 15 years that you were not expecting, and you don't handle it well. So we are always incarnating ourselves over and over and over and over and over again in this life. Reincarnation is not about the life beyond this physical plane. As a Christian, the idea of self-improvement is called sanctification. That is, we are setting ourselves apart from that which is detrimental to holiness and righteousness and all things that, our religious training had indoctrinated us with. There's nothing different between the self-improvement of an atheist and the self-improvement of a Christian. Zero. Because the only one who's going to do anything for either of those people is that self. Oh, no, I pray to God and God gives me the strength. You can think that. You can believe that. But you have no... If you would like me to finish reacting to the rest of this epic narrative... No, let's go back to Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, which am us. This is a narrative of very heavy-duty proportions.
Cosmic, man.
This is a narrative of epic proportions. If you would like me to finish these ramblings and musings and pontifications. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is express myself as an artist, and I'm going to stop the reaction right now. If you would like me to continue, please make sure you smash that Fonzarelli, hit that like. Please make sure that like has a matched comment with you, making a comment first, second, third, thought this was a good point, I don't think you know what you're talking about, whatever. And then, however, if you have a higher vibration in terms of your experience with this, please make sure you click that little arrow that shares this content with other people with whom you might share similar appreciation for this kind of reaction. All right, there you go. That's what it is. It is what it is. It was what it was. It will be what it will be. I have been your host here on Radio Free Anarchy, Travel Mateus. Until next time.